Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is September 11th, 2023, and this is episode 68. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 13 and 11. I'd like to say welcome to any new viewers. I appreciate you giving me a try. Don't forget, if you enjoy my videos, to hit the subscribe button or the like button down below. It really helps other people find my channel, and that creates a better community for all of us. I'd like to say thank you to all my returning subscribers and viewers, and I always enjoy chatting with you. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you have any questions or comments or whatever you want to chat about. I do enjoy that very much. Today for you, I have what am I wearing, finished objects, works in progress, stash, events, and some chatter. Now this might sound like it's a long episode, but I guarantee you it's not. But I will get into that in chatter. Let's get started with what am I wearing? Today, the only knitwear that I am wearing are some jelly roll socks. I'm not going to hold my feet up because I am precariously balanced on a stool right now, and that would definitely knock me over, but I will put a photo in for you guys. So this is the Jelly Roll pattern by Mara Catherine Brunner. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Those all seem like reasonable names, but as soon as I put the microphone on, I'm, just not sure what's happening. The yarn that I used for this one is, I'm looking at my notes because I can never remember this yarn. It's Koigu's Painter's Palette Premium Merino, or KPPPM. I bought this as a kit from Passion Knits at Knit City in 2016 in Vancouver, back when Knit City was only in one city. Now they're expanding all over Canada, and I'm so excited for them. And I knit these socks in 2020. I have to say, I think they've held up pretty well. I'm enjoying them. I enjoy the fit on them. I think I knit them just a touch too big. The heel gets a little wibbly wobbly. So I think if I had done like half an inch shorter, they would have been perfect. But I love these socks and wear them a lot because they're shorties. Just means I need to knit more shorty socks for myself, I think. So let's move on to finished objects. For finished objects this week, if you've watched my previous videos, you may be thinking that you're going to see the litmus cowl. You're not, because I got completely sidetracked with hats. Okay, so let's go in order here of how I knit them. So I have this super bulky yarn in my stash, I just decided to knit up some gift hats. This is the Monster Cables beanie by Callie Taylor. And I miscrossed a cable all the way along. At least I'm consistent. But there you go. Anyway, I'm not going back to rip it out. I'm just going with it as a design feature. And I'm quite enjoying this one. I think it turned out pretty good. It's like a little slouchy. I think definitely somebody with like a big head, it would stretch out a lot more and would pretty nice for someone. The next one that I knit was the Biggie hat, and this is by Knox Mountain Knit Co., who is Sasha and Willow. This one turned out the perfect height. I love it. I think I might have to keep this one for myself, but also, gift knits. It's always good to have them hanging around, and I have a ton of hats myself. So yeah, that's that one. So it's definitely shorter. You can see it's quite a few inches shorter, but I think someone will enjoy that one anyway. And then the last one that I knit, I just made up the pattern myself. And just like a spiral rib thing. This one again is a bit longer. Like if I put it right down on my head, it's in my eyes, but I think it's nice. Just a 2x2 rib that I spiraled around and did some rapid decreases at the top and called it good. So I still have a little bit of this yarn left. Sorry, I gotta reach over and grab it here. I don't need that bit. So this yarn is respun in the Thick and Quick. So it's a Lion brand. I don't know why I'm reading it. You can see it right there. It's a Lion brand, but so it is a super bulky. They have a respun that I think is a worsted weight. So it's 100% recycled polyester. So acrylic basically, but it is recycled materials, which, you know, makes me happy. And I don't have that much left. I don't think I have enough to do another hat, but maybe a headband. We'll see. We'll see what that becomes in the future. I just about threw that in my mug of tea. Oh man, I feel like I'm rushing through this and I need to just, okay. I had a hard time figuring out where I was going to set up today. And again, I will talk about more of all of that in chatter. So that's it for my finished objects. Those 3 bulky hats that will go into the gift knit bin, and hopefully eventually find some homes. I'm going to package a bunch off and send them off to a couple of charities that are looking for hats for the winter, and we will call that good and move on to works in progress. So for works in progress, I still have my litmus cowl on the needles. This is the Litmus Cowl by Jude from Stranded Dye Works. It is the never-ending project, but it has created a lot of space for just some plain stockinette knitting around and around. So, you know, there are times when that is really great. And I have been working on this project, but the bulky hats, they called to me. So if you remember, I started off with this orange color, and this is a Knit Picks Stroll Gradient. This first color is Lion Fire, and the second one is called Deep Dive. So it's this really dark burnt orange into a more regular orange, and then yellow, and then we change to the other ball of yarn where there's this lime green, this very, very bright turquoisey blue, and now we are on to the dark blue. You can see I am just started it. So it's not knitting up quite as dark as it is showing in the ball, so I think I'm gonna go along with it. If I could stop this now, because this would be a good length for a double wrap cowl if I wanted it really close, but I think I want this more as like a decorative one. So I am going to finish the dark blue, and then I will measure it and see how we're doing, and then maybe add a purple if I feel the need to complete my rainbow ish. It's rainbow-ish, guys. Woo. I mean, the green, these colors are very bright, but the sun, I have sunlight shining straight in on me and it is blowing it out a little bit. But yeah, that blue basically matches my shirt. So, you know, I'm in for that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I end up wearing this bright of a cowl or if I give it away to somebody else or whatever. But I am enjoying knitting it, and cross my fingers, I can finish it for next week. So let's move on to stash. I realized as I was putting the notes together that last week was September and I didn't give you my August numbers, which I think I mentioned in the video, but now I have my August numbers. So for August, or maybe I should just go back in case there's any new viewers, I'm tracking my yarn based on meters, how many meters in, so full skeins of yarn that I've purchased or full amounts of yarn versus how much I've actually knit for projects and gone out the door. If I only knit a partial skein, then I would still count whatever was left as part of my stash. So I'm doing it all by meters. And that's how I keep track of it for the year. So for August, I had my regular Fireweed Fiber Co. And I had July and August because we were traveling all of July and most of August. I didn't really calibrate any of that into what I was doing. So now we're basically getting caught up to the end of August from June. And so yeah, I have 2 of the Mystery Sock Clubs from her. So that's a 1,024.8 meters. Don't know where I got the 0.8 from, but anyway, that's how it works with the minis and the whole business. And then from my trip, so I was gone for 6 weeks. I traveled across all the provinces except for Newfoundland, and I didn't do any of the territories. So I bought quite a bit of yarn. You can go back and see all of that information. But that was 11,862.4 meters. That's a lot. It's a big number, but I think I'm very happy with everything that I purchased, and I will still be happy at the end of the year, even if my numbers have gone up. So we will see what happens, but there we go. So that's a total yarn in of 12,887.2, but I'm kind of rounding. Anyway, it's fine. Next, we're going to talk about yarn out. So I finished Taylor's cowl, which was 582 meters out. I finished that gray hat that I showed you last week. It's called Fits the Whole Family or something like that. That was only 29 meters, which I don't know how that happened, but it was a bulky yarn, so anyway. And then I finished my Stonewall for 1,106 meters, so that is 1,718, so 1,718 meters out. So my stuff for the year, now I don't know what I've done here. Oh, okay, so now I know what I've done. I did this really quickly, and then I forgot. So I had last time for total in was 65.28, and I've added now the 12,887. So we're at 19,415. Out. Before I had 93.81, which I was very happy with because it kind of put me in that negative for a bit. And I'm going to add in the 17.18 from this month, and that leaves me with 11,099 meters out. So I'm not that far behind. So where does this actually leave me? So this leaves me with a positive balance of 8,316 meters. So basically, if I knit that many meters or complete projects with that many meters before the end of the year, then I will be at 0. I'm hoping for a negative balance, but we will see. I also have my monthly yarn club coming every month, so I will definitely have to keep up on those numbers. If I don't make it by the end of the year, I'm not going to fret about it. I'm not worried about it. This is more of a way for me to track my spending, how much I'm actually knitting, what things I'm enjoying at the end of the year. I do a recap of like how many sweaters I knit, how many hats I knit, and all that kind of stuff. So it's more a way for me to keep track of what I have and how I'm using it so that I can make better purchases in the future. I know on this trip, this past 6-week trip, I did actually purchase a sweater quantity of yarn to make a top, I think I'm gonna make a ranunculus. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it's the remix yarn I bought, and then a lot of the skeins are kind of single skeins, so that's gonna be something. I know I wanted to buy special yarn as we were going along on our trip, but also I'm like, now I have all this single skeins, and some of them will be socks because some of them are self-striping, and that'll be perfect for socks or fingerless mitts or some fun hat or something. I definitely can use those. And then there's some other skeins that I just thought were beautiful, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. So, but that's okay because they were special from the trip, and I will figure out something to do with them. But then for my like day-to-day buying habits, for what I want to do, I really want to work on things that are in my stash that I know that I love and yarn that I want to use, and start using those. So that is it for stash. Let's move on to events. I'm participating in one event currently, and it is the Down Cellar Studio Pigskin Party for 2023-24. This is a knit along that runs concurrently with the football season from the NFL, and it started on September 7th and it finishes on February 12th. So you can only include projects that you start on or after the 7th, and you have to finish them before the 12th. She gives you like the Monday to kind of clean up and take photos and stuff after the Super Bowl, but that's how it kind of goes along with that season. If you want to check out more details about how to enter, how to participate, you can check out her website, which I have linked down below. I've participated in this for quite a few years now, and I enjoy it. Everyone gets put on a team, so you have a bit smaller of a group to kind of hang out and chit chat with, get to know a few people in the knitting community that maybe you wouldn't have run into before, and or be in a group with some people you had been before and get to chit chat with them again. So all of that is good fun. And it just gives me another option, another way to track what I make in that time frame. I'm not really in it for the prizes. I mean, if I win something, great, but that's not my reason for doing it. I just like to track my knitting and see what I do during those time frames. But I don't put any pressure on myself. If like my litmus cowl is not going to count for it because that was started a long time ago, but I'm still going to finish it now because I want to finish it. And I have numerous projects that I started in preparation for my trip that I would really like to finish. So I'm thinking that I will have like one WIP project from previous and one project that I am working for the pigskin party, and see where we can get. And they have fun challenges along the way. They have like a Market Monday thread where you can just post kind of your progress every Monday. Kind of keeps you going, keeps you inspired, all of that kind of fun stuff. And that is it for events. Let's move on to chatter. All of a sudden, I'm very warm. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a sunny window. It is so smoky outside. It's bad. Hopefully, I think I look a little flushed and a little sweaty, but we're just gonna go with it. Normally out my front window, we can see across quite a few mountain ranges, close ones and then further ones away. Currently, I can only see the ones just across the lake. Everywhere else is completely smoked in. There is no wind today. And I know it's because they're doing ignition burning to kind of create like a blockade for the West Kelowna fire so that it doesn't get any further out of hand. But it's bothering me. And I'm trying so hard not to complain about it. But I've been putting so many eye drops in. I just put eye drops in for my seasonal allergies, but the smoke has really been bothering me lately. So here we are. It's also very hot out today. September is usually a very hot month for us still. It was like 27, 28 yesterday Celsius, and it's about the same again this afternoon, and there's no breeze or anything, so it's just kind of like hot and sticky and kind of gross. So there's your weather update, which makes me hot and sticky and kind of irritable. Hopefully that's not coming across on this video. Oh dear. So let's move on to books, which is how I normally start my chatter segment. I finished Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Hope I'm saying that right. Again, I could look this up ahead of time, but I didn't. It was a very enjoyable book. It kind of went a bit of a different direction than I thought it was going to, and there was a bit in the middle where she was kind of like building the store, that was kind of like, it could have been done in like a quick montage instead of like a couple chapters, but it was enjoyable. It was a good read. I definitely like the writing style. It was descriptive, but not too descriptive, very conversational, all that kind of stuff. And I definitely liked the characters for sure. So not my like top favorite books, but definitely up there. So definitely check that out. And I'm gonna go source out the prequel to the book and see what I can see if I can find that at the library as well. As for the rest of my life, it has been back to school. So of course that creates a whole other level of craziness in the house. But it's good because the kids are gone all day. I can get my work done. We get to spend time together in the evenings. It's still nice out, so they can ride their bikes to and from school, which means that I don't have to go get them. Although today I have to go get them at some point. So, we're still trying to figure out like what they're bringing home from their lockers on the weekends. And now that they've progressed up a grades and they have different teachers, they have homework, and things that maybe they didn't have last year, and just sorting all of that out, coming up with a schedule of when they're going to bike ride, when we're going to pick them up, all that kind of stuff. But it's been good that both kids are really happy with their class. So they are at a community school, which means that there's 580 students at the school approximately. There are 4 communities. And then each community is broken down in different ways depending on what they're teaching. Our community is half French immersion and half English program. The French immersion students are half of it, and then they're kind of broken down into 2 groups. They have the grade 6s because that's a bigger group, and then the 7s and 8s together. Because my kids are in 7 and 8, they are both in the same group. So we're waiting to see if that blows up in our face or not. So far, so good. I gave a little kind of talking to both the kids, be like, okay, I know your sister, your brother's in your class, but you don't need to be in a group with them. You don't need to tell them what to do. Like, try to avoid each other. And then for other subjects, because Cooper's in grade 8, so he has different electives and different items. So basically there's 4 subjects that they're in the same class for, and then the rest of them, they're in different groups. So it'll be a bit of a mix, and I'm waving my hands a lot. I don't know why. So that's back to school. I felt pretty prepared for this year. Not too much was changing because they didn't change schools or anything. But this is Cooper's last year in middle school, and he'll be in high school next year, which will be a change. It's on the same campus, like it's across the creek, but it's just it's different. They have different kind of schedules, different kind of feeling. They're much more independent. So that will be interesting for next year. We also have been talking about for a long time redoing the kids' rooms. Cooper's had the same layout furniture since he was 3, and he's 13 now, so we thought it was time for a more teenagery big kid kind of room, whatever you want to call it. So we just got him a single twin bed instead of the loft bed that he had, and then we thought, well, Taylor also had a loft bed. She had one of the ones with the desk underneath. Cooper's was just a half loft. Anyway, long story short, we redid both their rooms, new furniture, mattresses, the whole kit and caboodle, and that has been a lot more work than we thought. Now, we ordered IKEA stuff, so we knew we were going to have to build it. Unfortunately, there were some issues with the things that were sent to us, so now we have to send some of them back, and we're not close to any IKEA. We're about a 5-hour drive, so we have to send them back via FedEx, and then they have to ship us new stuff, so it's going to take a couple weeks to kind of finish this out, but yeah, hopefully we'll be able to sort this out. And I mean, they're able to sleep in their beds now, and their clothes are kind of away, so we're calling it good for now. You may also notice our lovely new bookcases. So as much as I am a collector of yarn, my husband is a collector of books. And we both are pretty avid readers along with our kids. So we have a variety of collections going on. So this is all the novels and Harry Potter. There's some magazine collections, and we have, you can't see, but over here is our TV unit for our family room, and it has a bookcase all the way around it as well. And then we have a bookcase downstairs too, as well as the kids have a big kind of IKEA cube thing in the rec room. So we have lots of space for books. Now that we have these 3, there's lots of books that we want to display more in our sitting room, living room. There's no TV in this room. So yeah, it's become our reading and conversation room, which is very nice, but as you can see, we're still in the process. So, but I thought I would record here. You don't always have to have the perfect backdrop with the, everything framed. And the other reason why I'm recording here is because my office is chock-a-blocked full of stuff that I am selling. Facebook Marketplace is a great place, but sometimes things don't move as quickly as I want them to. So we needed a place to kind of house that stuff. And yeah, so it's a little cluttered in there right now. But by the end of next weekend, everything will either be sold or it'll go for donation. So that is that. Yeah, so we're kind of redoing a lot of the areas of the house. really trying to, you know, declutter, only keep things that we really want. Obviously, Mike's book collection is very important to him, so we're not getting rid of many books. We did find some duplicates, so we will be donating some of those, but other than that, that's about it. But just kind of clearing out some stuff we had hanging around. You know, we had kind of, when we were redoing the trailer in the spring, we were like, oh, maybe we'll use this, maybe we'll use that. So just trying to get everything in that fall mode of, you know, so we go into winter with a fresh space and everything clean. We got the outside of the house cleaned, the windows done, the hot tub's now refilled, you know, so we're just getting the house kind of that fall cleaning done early. It's not technically fall yet, but it works. Yeah, and then the last thing that I had on my list was that we're trying to hold on to summer. So other than today when it's been really smoky, you know, it's been fairly decent weather out, and we've tried to get out of the house as much as possible so that we can enjoy the last days of summer. Yesterday was our 18th wedding anniversary, and so just Mike and I went for a little day date. We went to a winery, and we went to a brewery, and we went to a bakery that has gluten-free stuff, and oh, and then we hit Starbucks all the way home because we both needed some caffeine. So yeah, it was just a fun day. It was super hot, beautiful day out, and yeah, I think that is all that I have to talk about. I'm kind of looking around like, what am I missing here? Hopefully I will have a finished cowl for you, the litmus cowl, and I will have either something new cast on or some other completed projects, almost finished completed projects, and we can get back to a regular Friday recording. Clearly ordering the IKEA stuff and redoing the kids' rooms took up too much time, which is why it's Monday today. So hopefully now we can, you know, regular scheduling. The kids have a regular week of work. I have a regular week of school. They're at school. I'm at work. Mike's at work. Everything's regular, so we can get back into our regular schedule overall. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.